You might think that because your love is real and you have a marriage certificate, an approval to your spousal sponsorship application is a sure thing. I need you to listen closely. That is a very dangerous assumption. In 2026, Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC, is refusing genuine couples every single day. They aren't just looking for fake marriages. They are applying strict legal tests that most applicants don't even know exist. But there's also a massive opportunity right now that many people are missing. There is a temporary public policy that can save you from a lifetime ban, but it expires in September 2026. So in this video, I'm going to break down the top 5 reasons for refusal, including the specific bad faith test that traps honest couples and the angel of death rule that bars family members forever. Most importantly, stick around till the very end because I'm going to give you my 3-step approval roadmap, a specific checklist to bulletproof your application before you hit the submit button. Let's begin. First, let's look at the reality of the system right now. The immigration landscape has shifted. With tighter caps on temporary residence and student visa, spousal sponsorship has become a primary target for scrutiny. Officers are under immense pressure to spot fraud. They're working in an environment where the benefit of doubt is gone. If your application leaves room for questions, they won't just ask you for more information. They are increasingly moving straight to refusals. You are not just proving that you're married, you're proving you deserve to bypass the strict border controls. If you're hearing this and feeling worried that your case might be too complicated for this new, stricter environment, don't risk a refusal. Click the link in the description to book a strategy session with me. We can review your specific situation before you file to ensure that you're not walking into a trap. To avoid a refusal, you need to understand how the officer thinks. They divide your application into 2 gates. Gate number 1 is sponsor eligibility. This is about you, the Canadian. Did you sign a previous undertaking? Are you on social assistance? If you fail here, the file never even gets to the relationship part. Gate number 2 is applicant eligibility and admissibility. This is where they assess if the relationship is real and if your partner is safe to enter Canada. Most people obsess over photos for Gate 2 but completely neglect the legal technicalities of Gate 1. You need to pass both. Now, let's get into the specific reasons for refusal. These are the top 5 killers for spousal sponsorship applications. Reason number 1, the bad faith determination. This is the most common and misunderstood reason. Regulation 4 involves a 2-part test. First, is the marriage genuine? Do you live together? Do you mix finances? Second, and this is the trap, was the marriage entered into primarily for immigration status? Here's the scary part. You can be in a genuine marriage today, living together and happy, but if the officer believes that your original motivation for getting married years ago was to get a visa, they will refuse you under this rule. It's called the primary purpose test. So you must prove that your intent was pure from day 1. Reason number 2, misrepresentation. This is the career ender. Misrepresentation means withholding material facts. The most common mistake? Answering no to the question, have you ever been refused a visa to Canada or any other country? So if your partner was refused a tourist visa 10 years ago and doesn't declare it, IRCC will see it when they share biometric data with their Five Eyes partners. The penalty is a 5-year ban from Canada, and there's no innocent mistake defense anymore. I cannot stress this enough. A 5-year ban is a permanent damage to your life plans. If you have any red flags in your immigration history, denials, police stops, anything, book a consultation immediately. We need to see what IRCC sees before you apply. Reason number 3, the excluded family member rule. Practitioners call Regulation 1179D the angel of death rule. Normally, if you immigrated to Canada previously and didn't declare a spouse or child, maybe you thought they weren't coming with you, so it didn't matter, you are barred from ever sponsoring them. It is a lifetime ban. However, pay attention here. There's a temporary public policy exemption active right now until September the 10th, 2026. So this policy allows certain sponsors to overcome this ban. Who is eligible? If you come to Canada as a refugee, a protected person, or were sponsored yourself as a family class member, you can likely use this policy to sponsor your undeclared family member. And who's not eligible? If you came through an economic program like Express Entry or PNP, this exemption generally does not apply to you because hiding a family member likely changed your CRS score. This policy is a lifeline, but the clock is ticking. If you fall into the eligible category, you must apply before September 2026. Reason number 4, sponsor ineligibility. You cannot sponsor if you are receiving social assistance for reasons other than disability. This includes provincial welfare or housing support. Crucially, you must stay off social assistance during the entire processing time. So if you lose your job and go on welfare while waiting for the decision, your application will be refused on the final day. Reason number 5, procedural errors and cohabitation failures. For inland applicants, you must live together. If you file an inland application, but the officer sees credit card bills or leases at different addresses, you will be refused for not cohabiting. Also, simple errors like using outdated form, even one that is 2 weeks old, will cause your application to be returned as incomplete, which can cause you to lose your status in Canada. If an officer has doubts, particularly about R-117-9D cases or relationship dates, they will call you for an interview. They will often separate you and your spouse into different rooms. They will ask granular questions like, what color is your partner's toothbrush? Who woke up first on Sunday? What did you eat for dinner last night? So they're looking for inconsistencies. If you say you drove and he says you took an Uber, they see that as a credibility issue. They're trained to spot rehearsed answers. The interview is the final hurdle. If you're nervous about your answers matching up, we provided tailored support and guidance to overcome this hurdle. Use the link in the description to schedule a consultation session. Before we get to the roadmap, you need to adopt these 3 golden rules for your application mindset. Rule number 1, transparency over perfection. Officers don't expect a perfect relationship. They expect an honest one. So don't hide the messy parts like a temporary breakup or a small wedding. Explain them. A cover-up is always worse than the reality. Rule number 2, the grandmother test. If you gave your application to a stranger or your grandmother, would they understand your love story without you explaining it? If your photos and documents don't tell the full story on their own, you haven't provided enough context. Number 3, consistency is validity. Your application today must match every single visa application you have ever submitted in the past. IRCC never forgets. Now, here is the specific actionable roadmap to build your application correctly. Step number 1, the skeleton in the closet audit. Before you fill out a single form, sit down with your partner and do a full audit. Have you ever been refused a visa for any country? Have you ever been arrested? Even if charges were dropped, did you declare all family members on previous applications? If you're unsure about your history, order your GCMS notes from IRCC first to see what they see. You cannot afford to guess here. Step number 2, the bad faith defense strategy. Don't wait for the officer to find red flags. Identify them yourself and address them in a letter of explanation. Is there a big age gap? Write a section explaining your shared interest and compatibility. Was the wedding small? Explain why. Maybe it's the budget, COVID, family estrangement, things like that. Is the courtship short? Provide evidence of intense communication. You must control the narrative. Don't let the officer fill in the blanks with their own suspicions. Step number 3, strategic stream selection. Decide carefully between inland and outland. Use inland only if you are living together in Canada and need a work permit while you wait. Use outland if your case is complex or has red flags. Why? Because outland applications have a right of appeal to the Immigration Appeal Division, or IAD. If you get refused, you get a second chance to argue your case in person. Inland applications do not have this right, and that safety net is critical. Immigration officers are gatekeepers. Just because your relationship is not complicated to you, it does not mean it looks simple to them. And remember, if you're relying on the public policy exemption for the undeclared family members, that door closes in September 2026. So don't let a technicality destroy your future life together. If you want to ensure your strategy is sound, your audit is complete, and your application is strong, click the link in the description to book a consultation with me. Let's get this right the first time.